Signals, Dex Trader. This is the 5-minute learning 1 hour intraday pathway. Now that's yeah, that's so close. That is a mouthful, right? But I want you to understand that you're here tonight because you've seen us around, probably searched us on Google or found us in YouTube or found us someplace. You did not click on an ad anywhere that we paid for or someplace or anything like that. This is all word of mouth. This is all through a variety through social networking as well. So you'll hear other people talk about us. You'll see us advertise on Facebook, but not in Facebook ads, sort of just in posts and things that we do. We're a company made by traders for traders. Okay. We began to trade about 2 years ago when we got taken in the binary options world for about $115,000. I should say I did personally. I know other people in my circle and other family members and friends. Could it be louder, please? I'll try to make it louder. Um, we tried to get some of that money back and work harder at trying to find a legitimate source out there that was going to give us the experience and the dedication to us, but we just couldn't find it. And you know what they say, if you can't find it, fake it, you might as well build it. So that's what we did. Inside the series here tonight, I'm going to show you some things. I'm going to show you some money. I'm going to show you some processes that we do. I'm going to show you other people's success, as well as their training, their progression, their transgression, however you want to see it. But it all has to do with risk. It all has to do with money. Okay, so all of it's about trade assistance and education. Okay, so keep that in mind. But also, all results may vary. Somebody else may not do as good as somebody else, of course. Can everybody hear me okay? Okay, hopefully you can. All right, let's get on to the next. The basic pathway of this system is you learning how to trade. If you're here to really begins to try to find a way to make a career, whatever it is, whatever you're trying to do, you always have to learn something. You have to go through a process of learning it, right? You don't just wake up in the morning and you're a doctor the next day, right? Unless you're like Doogie Howser or something, right? Sorry, bad reference. Boy, I'm old. But the real solution here is learning how to teach yourself. And this is where a lot of companies falter. They come out with this overwhelming, complicated process on trying to learn how to trade. They throw charts at you, they throw all these lines, and they're saying just jump in and start. And they go through these huge, long webinars. It's incredibly inundating and overwhelming at points. Okay, so once you begin to see what you don't like, and this is what we did. We found out what we didn't like in the industry, and we had to make it to how we like it because we're not really overly simple, but we want the thing simple. We want to take the complicated and make it simple, and that's what we've done. We've taken the training, we've taken the process, we stripped away all that other BS to give you what's left. We know that you have to have a direction, you have to have a path, and you need to be able to learn it and train in it. And this is the biggest part of it, is training in what you do. So you'll learn from the videos, and then shortly afterwards, you'll begin training by doing, by becoming engaged with the trades. Now, in the very beginning, we put you through a boot camp of learning how to use the 5-minute signals to be able to get in and get out of trades very quickly. This way, it'll give you a ton of experience in a very short period of time. Then we'll sort of graduate you into the 1 hour trades or signals, whatever you're going to be doing, and start teaching you in that process. Now, if you're here just for signals, that's okay too. There's another couple of parts of this company that you can actually take part in. The more advanced systems become easier, right? And I'll show you some of those in just a moment. All right, 5-minute strategy, real simple. We use the binaries that are on Nadex in 5 minutes. If you don't know a lot about Nadex.com, don't worry. All of our systems have training in Nadex called the Nadex Ninja Series, and that'll teach you everything you need to know about Nadex. So let's just put that one to the side. Okay, but on Nadex, if you know anything about trading yet, or if you know anything about Forex, they have 4 pairs that they use. These are 4 assets that they put together to do these trades with, and they're named right here. Now, in a 5-minute time expiry, you get this 23 hours a day around the clock, okay, from Sunday night at 6 p.m. to Friday afternoon till 4 p.m. Eastern time. That means there's a lot of trades in there. There's a shit ton of them in there. And you could take so many of them to just get the experience and the practice down. But we want to graduate you through this series and step you up as you go so you can trade and learn how to not just learn how to trade and become effective getting in and out, but get great results. The pathway is simple. We simply train you in a trade these 5-minute series, show you the real power, then upgrade you to a 1 hour system. Now, you may not take as many trades, but that's okay because we have an equation here. Is that once you get to your consistency, that's the most powerful thing that you can get to at first, is getting to your consistency. That's the C in this equation here. Okay. The next part of the equation is once you get the consistency, you simply add volume, but not the type of volume you're thinking about. We're not talking about adding just more trades to it, okay? Because each trade has the capability of creating a single contract. So one trade can have one contract, or two contracts, or three contracts, and so forth and so forth. So if you're able to do, let's just say, an average of 4 trades a day, okay, and you're winning each time about $20 per trade, okay, trading only one contract, you can win about $80 a day at that point. Now, they may not seem like a lot, but if you get the C down, if you get the consistency down, you can easily add another second contract once your balance can handle that. This would give you an earning potential each day of $160 if you didn't have any losses in there, of course. Now, most of our systems, once you get to the higher end, will go from 90 to 95, 98% success rate. So I want you to keep that in mind. You have a great opportunity here. But how do you get to this part of it? It just doesn't come overnight. You got to practice in it. You got to work with it. You got to do the homework. You got to do the actual work to get there. Now, there's some rules. Every good system should have rules. Not too many rules, because too many rules means that you're just too many filters and you probably will miss a bunch of it, all that kind of stuff. So we got it real simple. No news trading. Don't trade the systems, the algorithm, the strategy, the indicators, the signals, Dex Trader. Don't trade during news. Very simple. Follow the alerts in the box once the alert sounds. Follow and then go to Nadex and get the closest price possible. Okay, there's some other secondary rules for entry points and stuff like that we don't really need to go into now. Okay, but inside the training is going to teach you how to do all that stuff. Now, in training, you want to keep track of your progress, right? What use of it is it that if you don't know what you've done wrong as you go, how can you improve yourself? Keeping a journal does this for you, and we show you how to do that. And as you're keeping your journal, you're going to actually start to keep track of your gross success rate. This is your wins and your losses. Okay. If you make a mistake, get out right away. You might have to count it as a loss if you're doing that kind of stuff. So there's a little bit of idiosyncrasies that we can have to kind of help you through that process. But ultimately, if you're just going to keep an idea of your first 100 trades, okay, in 5 minutes, it shouldn't take you too long. But your gross success rate, if it's between 80 and 90%, we'll kind of go into what they are here in just a second. But you'll definitely see that you have a potential to do a little bit more. You got to sharpen that task a little bit, right? Remember, you're only trading one contract in this series. Now, once you get to your 100 5-minute trades, if you're between 80 and 90%, if you're under 80%, you're going to really you're missing something. There's something that's happening, right? You're either getting in during news or something, something's happening in your systems there that you're getting into the wrong trades or what have you. Okay, but the signal system, there's a Dex indicator signal series that's there for the 5-minute. It's very easy to use, and I'll even show you that here in just a few moments. Okay, if you're above 80 to 90%, if you're right in that range between 80 and 90%, you're doing great. Okay, you got a little bit more to sharpen your temper here. Okay, you gotta kind of sharpen that stone just a little bit better, but you're doing good. You're moving in the right direction. Okay, at that time, you're going to want, once you get to your 80 to 90% at that time, you want to move to your second group. But if you happen to be above 90% in your first 100 trades, you're a superstar. I mean, this is that zone that you're honed in. Okay, you're doing extremely well. You're following those rules. You're following the base. You got a good pulse on it. Everything's working great. Now, if you're above that 90%, you want to move straight into intraday training. Okay, now intraday trading is a little bit, just a little bit less trades. There's a few rules with that, and I'll show you what that is here in a second as well. But for the most part, at this time, even after your first 100, if you're at 90%, you're pretty much, you didn't fake that side, So if you If you've gotten above 90%, you're a natural at this stuff and you just need to move right into doing those. Now, some go right and start doing the 200 trades as well. And you're doing these with 5 contracts this time. So you can get a little bit more of a beef on how much money you can make once you start really pushing that. And this, after these 200 trades, 300 trades, whatever you want to see, but we think about 200, you want to start seeing this as your net success rate. So in 5-minute trades, if you, again, okay, if you're between 80 and 90%, if you're below 80%, there's something still wrong. Don't even go on anymore. Book a consult, sit down with us. We don't want you to waste any more time. And we got to really see if this is something that you feel you're capable of doing. Okay. Because sometimes there's some, distractions happening, or maybe it's just not, you're not getting it at that point. Maybe we need to figure another solution. We do have other solutions for you at this point. Okay. It's called Dex Trader, where it makes it very simple for you. If you're between 80 and 90%, we want you to move straight to 1 hour strategy and don't ever look back at 5 minutes. Okay. 5 minutes was just a useful tool to get you through training. Okay. But if you're between 90 and 98% here after 200, like you've really sharpened it from before, maybe you're 80 and 90 in the first batch, and the second batch you get between 90 and 98. You've reached superstar status. Let's get you right into 1 hour trading. Okay. But you can also do 5-minute trading at that point. If you're in excess to like 95% and above, you're kicking ass. All right. So that's something that you can look forward to. Now, sometimes this may not happen in your 200 trades. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. Sometimes people want to push that little bit of training, get that little crutch that you got going on, right? And that's okay. But there is a tremendous amount of opportunity here for the more trades that you do, the better experience you get, the more things you see, the more things you can react with. Okay. Now, in our DEX family of trading systems, there's 3 main systems: DEX Signals, DEX Indicators, and DEX Trader. Each has its own special task that it will handle with you. Now, DEX Trader is being evolved as we speak. It's in alpha right now. We got the main system up and kind of working around. We're working last on the website and system. All of our websites sort of have the same look and feel to them, because we want you to be able to, as you're traveling, and some of our customers go from place to place, we want you to be able to always know where the membership portal is and where the contact us is and where the chat rooms are and those things. Okay, so you'll see a similar feel between each one. Why did we create 3 different ones? Well, we know that there's certain mentalities between each one. And if any one of them had gone down, they're all on different servers, we didn't want it to affect the other people as well, because each one has its own processes. Now, Dex Indicators is really the beginning, right? This is where, if you are the type of person that wants to learn how to do indicators and strategies and really get to the finite core of the algorithm of what you're building and what we're building, what we're doing, then this is where you want to be. Okay. Your experience with software is, moderate. You don't have to be overly experienced, but have something to be able to follow directions to download and upload and do those things. You must be disciplined and ready to do hundreds of trades to get your experience. Now, when I say discipline, not everybody has that, but you've got to get to that point of learning it before you move on. If you keep just going, let me try this, let me try that, you're never going to get to that point. Do you understand? You have to become disciplined in trading. If you don't, you'll never be disciplined in trading. And that's a mouthful, but the time that you have to put into this, and what we see, is between 4 weeks to 2 months. And it does take that long. And we're not saying that because we want your money to be there for 2 months. I want you to be successful. And if you're not willing to put the time in, then maybe Dex Indicators isn't for you. What you'll get from it all is a huge amount of experience and knowledge of the strategies and the indicators, and the availability to actually advance up into other places within this company. Now, Dex Signals is basically for those that want to have a signal base. Like, you don't want to have to generate the signal, but you do want to look to make sure it's confirmed, and maybe you're doing some hookups, maybe you're doing some other things. But the signal itself is supplied. Now, the training behind it, all that stuff, you just need a little bit of experience with the software, because there is a MetaTrader 4 system you can download. There are some on-chart or on-web systems that you can have on there as well. But you want to learn a little bit more, but you don't want to have to worry about generating the signal using the trend reverse and picking what strike to use and all that stuff. Just some small stuff. This could be used as pre-training for indicators as well. So maybe you want to go there first and get some help in there, book your consults, do all that stuff, and then later on graduate to indicators once you start getting it down. The time that it takes to get through the training on this side is between 2 to 4 weeks, and really getting the experience through. It might even be faster for you at Dex Signals. Okay. What you get from it all is a beginner's experience and a chance to advance into other systems, which is the Dex Indicators and, of course, Elite and Senior Trader. Finally, there's the big boy, and this is a this is a call to arms for all traders, but yet it's still something for those people that don't have a lot of time, really just want basically a future button pushing system that they can come in, they can see if they can see a number that comes over, push a button, takes you over to Nadex, and you can get into your trade from that point. Um, no fuss, no muss, no guesstimation, no nothing. If you want to use charts, if you want to use indicators, you can in this system. In the second release, we're in the first release still. The second release is coming in the next 2 weeks, possibly even the three, depends on how well we can get through the Christmas season without losing our other programmer at the same time. Um, but there is a web-based charting platform, so you don't have to worry about downloading any software. There's easy to follow signals. There'll be, even for our 1 hours, there'll be SMS texting, and there'll be all that kind of good stuff. You can email. Time and training on this is really only about a week. Okay, just for the signal side. On the indicator side, there might be an extra week in training in there, a couple of days of training. But if you have any experience whatsoever at that point, it'll just help you in the process. What you're going to get from this is an all functioning process that it has heavy amount of no heavy experience needed. It's supposed to say no, not now, but no heavy experience needed. So basically, everything is going to be there for you. So we built this system because, one, we wanted to be able to have an ease of use process that anybody could use on a tab and a tablet and a phone, okay, as well as on the web. Right. We didn't want you to have to download any software to be able to do that. So this is very exciting about what's about to happen. Now, each one of the systems comes with Nadex training and any other systems that you need training. It also comes with the top of the line customer service. I love Amy and Brian's way that they deal with customer service in there. The consults at senior level, where you'll talk to me or another senior trader of the company to be able to help you, guide you through, and mentor you through this process. Now, I think I reached my 600th person I've talked to as of today. Very enlightening conversations. Well, I'll allude to some of them tonight. Um, Ease of use systems and communication networks, like our chat rooms, our customer service division. Picking up on the phone. There's so many different ways you can talk to us, as well as the knowledge that you're contributing to a system that is designed to really help as many people reach their idea of success. This is worth every penny that you can put into it, okay? Because even those that are getting on and getting with Dex Trader that have been here for a couple of weeks have said they're contributors to this process, and they are. Every single one of you are, because everything that we have built, we didn't just make this up. These are all real. And why? How did all these come to be? Because of everybody in this room and every single one of our members. We have over 1,000 plus free members throughout the network, throughout the process. We have well over 200 something members in our system that are either, that are working the program itself, and we're growing every single day. We have reached levels that I didn't think we were going to be able to reach this quickly. But what's about to happen with us, with Dex Trader coming on, is that we're going to get into the thousands of people that'll be using the system, because this system itself, by the time it hits phase 4, is going to be made for Nadex as well as for Forex. So it's a very powerful network, but the people are coming, and we can't wait for that solution about to happen. All right. Now, before I get into giving all this stuff away, there is a coupon stuff for whatever, for the other stuff, and some stuff we're going to be giving away. But let me take you out and show you some of the stuff here right now before we get into questions and answers. And I don't want to take too much more of your time tonight. I just got to find it here. Just give me 1 second. So many things happening. All right, now, when we built the first release of the system, we started to really think about how it would affect everybody, as far as, from indicators to Dex signals to everything. But I wanted to quickly show you what the 5-minute system has, and this is one of the 5-minute systems that we have right here. Do this. Do this. This is a little platform that we developed called the 5-minute indicator signal. And what it does is that you put it on those 4 pairs that we talked about, and it just gives you a direction that it scans. This helps you alleviate the process of worrying about, which ones to get in and how far and all that kind of stuff. All right. So It's very powerful. This is really going to help you get to your 2 to 3, 400 trades and get that experience behind you, right? Because it makes it very simple, just like that. Okay, just sitting here. This one just came up. I had the alerts turned off. I'm sorry because I don't want them ringing out during the day. But it just propagates, right? So it comes up, sell, gives you the price, tells you the remaining time, all that kind of good stuff, right? And then you just take the trade. If as long as there's no news happening, you're sort of set at that point. You'll have a win loss ratio from that position. Okay. Um, there is a version with that process too, that we're going to have a version of it come out for the 1 hour intraday for later as a direct signal as well. So there's that opportunity as well. You can show you the Dex Trader. Show you. So you can have a look. Okay, here we go. Oh, is your unauthorized. All right. So here it is, but we've this part of alpha is released into 4 major parts. We have our charting system, of course, where you can go from chart to chart and easily add indicators to the process. Very, very simple to add indicators to the system, just simply as like that. We will be making this a little bit bigger in the release series and also a full screen model of it as well. The other cool thing is that the signals will be directly delivered to the page here as well. And this is a modeled format right now, but the new, all of it will be in just one system, sort of what it looks like for what we call the data processing center. Now, what this data processing center is that it takes all those signals that are delivered from intraday and daily, and it compiles the information on what like the best success rates are, you know, um, what the yearly is, what pair has done the best. Look at this one. Audi JPY is killing it on the dailies. But if I go to intradays, Euro USD, Audi USD has done the best in the last month. The last week has been Audi JPY. Pretty powerful. So this information here too can also be compiled down to the pair. Now each pair has its own daily and intraday results as well. So this is going to tell you the lifetime of the pair, how well it's done, okay, and what session it's done the best in, the best hour, what's the pip average. Now, of your daily results, this is huge because if you're doing choke ups, on this system, 43 pips, and you know that, you can choke up 20 pips, you got this thing made, right? It gives you a lot of information. It's pretty powerful from this side of it. It's only available in the Dex Trader system. Now, with all this information, in this first phase, we're going to be releasing it in. That's okay. But later on, you're going to have a tremendous amount of, other features in this process too. Like here's one for an advance. You'll be able to take and copy and paste your Nadex transaction history into another form, and it will compile your information in this kind of format, right? And you'll be able to select those variables, what you want to see. What's my best trading hour? What's my best pair? What's my pip average? What's my contract price average? All that kind of good stuff. So that's coming for you. And we can't wait to have that ready and available. There might be a dumping position where you just like copy and paste and put it in, or you might be able to click a button if we have the API and attaching it directly to Nadex to be able to do that. There's also an opportunity in the future to be able to click on a button and make a trade directly onto Nadex with that process, but you got to give it permissions and all that. And there's some regulatory stuff we got to do with that solution. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. But for now, there is a tremendous amount of opportunity here growing every single day. And it's all because of you folks. There are people in this system. I was talking to Chris Johnson today. He's a brand new person, started in November. And when I asked him, how much experience you have? We start a lot of these processes out with a lot of, what experience do you have? And tells me that he doesn't have a lot of experience at all. And he's like, I just started with you guys. I didn't think to do anything else. He goes, I looked up binary options online, or I looked up something online, and all of a sudden he's telling me his story of, where did he come from? What did he do? And he started in November, right? And I kid you not. And he started in November. He doesn't keep a journal. He's going to start because he's at that point. And it's almost like that cartoon, when you tell somebody, you see somebody walking on thin air, and all of a sudden they look down and realize they don't have gravity, right? and then they start thinking about gravity, and then all of a sudden they're falling. But in his case, he just keeps going. He doesn't know anything else. This is all he knows. So when I asked him, well, what are you doing? And he goes, well, I started going live right about the middle of the month, and I deposited $1,000. Remember, all results may vary. He deposited $1,000 into his Nadex account. As of right now, from the middle of last month to right now, this moment, almost a full month, he's made $3,000. Okay. Do you realize he only uses working orders on the dailies and intradays? That's all he does. And he follows the rules. I said, what a nice little soldier you are. I said, what makes you feel like you just follow the rules, you don't do anything else? He says, well, I don't know anything else. This is all I know. Because I was in the military for a long time. I'm in real estate now. You gave me rules to follow, I follow them. That's what I do. And he goes, the working orders don't fill a lot. They only fill about 20, 30% of the time. He goes, but when they do, they're perfect. Like, I haven't lost one yet from that. Because I've lost a couple intradays, but I'm batting about 92% right now. Do you need anything more? No. He's like, what else can I do? What else can I make? What else can I? I said, I'm sorry to tell you this, but you're an elite trader and you don't even use a chart. He doesn't even use a chart. Yeah, he doesn't choke up. When he chokes up, he uses the spreadsheet. That's all he does. He just uses a spreadsheet, right? He comes down to a daily. If he's going to do a choke up, we're filtering. But he comes down to a daily, and he just uses the chart, and he filters the chart out to find out if it's a good choke up for the dailies, and that's all he does. And what I was trying to explain to a lot of people in the webinar today from the pro webinar from Dex Signals, it can be as easy as that. It's when you start to add all these extra things in and you're adding, like if you're doing Dex Indicators, but yet you're using somebody else's system to do some other things and you're all over the place. A choke up is for, and we'll discuss that here at the end. There'll be some questions and answers there, but I'll explain a little bit better for you, Teresa, I promise. Okay. But the concept here is that once you pick one of them, you should go for it. And if you find yourself struggling, you should call us. Get us on the phone. Get yourself into a consult. Take charge of who you are. Take charge of what you want. I can ask this question. There's about 39 people in the room right now. And I can ask this question to a lot of you. Okay. If you tell me the amount that you want to make per month, I can show you a way to get there. But in order to get there, you got to follow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rules and don't deviate them. Who here in this room would say, nah, no thanks? If this was your number, it might be double them. You might need 2 times as much as that. But it doesn't matter what this number is. Now, within reason, of course. Let's be real. You're not going to be making $50,000, $60,000 from the system in there, not with no experience whatsoever, and giving it and putting everything you got into it. Could you do that? Yeah, absolutely. I can tell you $50,000. You can make that in there. I don't have a problem telling you. I'm not scared. Legally, I already gave you the risk disclaimer. All results may vary. Who here would say yes to this? Type yes in the room. Yeah, Teresa would. Of course you would. Anybody would. If you say no right now, I have to call you a liar. The problem is that most companies, in order for you to get that, you got to start your account out with 5 grand. And the answer is yeah, you do. You got to have a bigger balance to make that money you're looking for, right? Let me give you the show me part of it. Okay. Here's the show me part. If we have a system right now where Nadex, you're risking about roughly between 22 and 20 to $22. So I'm just going to pick the low and say 20 to $80, right? So you're risking $80 to make 20. I know that sounds really awful, right? But you're getting in the money trades and it's really low risk and all that stuff. So let's just pretend that this is all you know, right? Just like Chris, it's all you know, all right? And this is the number you're making each time. And you're trading at 92%, okay? So now we're just going to talk about this for a second. So if I only want to risk about 10% of my balance every month, what is the minimum balance I need to have to make sure that I can do one contract? It's $800 to do one contract. Now, if I trade one contract 4 or 5 times a day, remember in the beginning, make $80 a day if I'm trading 20 times a month or 20 days a month and making, $1,600 a month. Some of you would go, damn, sign me up. I'm right there. You're on. Just sitting at that point. Now you got to calculate wins and losses and all that stuff. But the idea here is that once you get to 1,600 in your account, start trading 2 contracts. And then what happens? Then you went making from $80 a day to making $160 a day. Then you get to $2,400 in your account, 3,200, 4,000. Get where I'm going now? Once you get to about $8,000 in your account, you should look at now saying, okay, it's time for me to skim off of what I need. Anything over $8,000, that's my pay. But you're trading 10 contracts a time. So every time that you win, you're winning 200, right? The number's still, the 92% is still there. You're doing it consistently, right? You trained to get here. You trained to do it. Now, the big secret between getting from one section to the next, the big secret, folks, is you actually have to do it. You have to do the work. You have to train yourself. Now, in other systems, in other companies, you got to learn. Here, let me see if I can find one. You got to learn stuff like this. You ever see one of these charts before? Now, you can get there with stuff like this. You can get there. Okay? You can get there, charts like this. But how fast do you think you can get there with a chart like this? A chart like this. Each one of these systems that you see on there, when you look at a board like this, each one of these little, even the bars, the arrows there, the dotted lines, each one of these volume anticipators and expected, deviances, every single one of these, each one has its own rule. It's going to take you a very long time to get there with rules like this. That's a lot of rules. Or you have rules like this. Trade on the arrow, trade from the tip of the arrow, follow the box in here. Okay, follow the box in here. You don't even need to look at arrows. Just follow the box. When it says buy, you do a buy. When it says a strike price, you go get the strike price. When it says how much time, you better move. Right? And this is just one system. Dex Indicators has 4 other systems in it, and 2 or 3 more coming. So if this one doesn't fit your fancy to learn, then we have something else. We have consults. We have everything you need. All right. So in order for you to be able to do all of this, you got to be a part of it. Some of you are. And I can't thank you enough for being here because you actually make us whole. You actually allow us to keep building. A very large portion of every single dollar that you bring in to this company by your patronage, by your membership, goes to building all these things. And why would I do that? Why would I sacrifice me making money? Well, because I know for a fact that if it becomes proven, the more things that we can build in here so everybody can enter and make money, the longer you'll be here. It's that simple. I'm not stupid. I've been down those other paths where you just try to, let's get everybody in and try to get as much money as we can right now. Those systems don't work. In Dex Indicators, Rich, that is called the 5-minute signals indicator. It's under the advanced section. It's in there for the advanced side for free once you pay for the system. Okay, so let me show you just one last thing here so you can get an understanding of what some other people have done. Now, listen, I could show you all my trades, all right, but I'm not going to show you any of my trades right now because knowing me as an individual, whether or not you know me or not, but being the presenter here, it just doesn't cut a fair advantage, right? Because you don't know, you already know I have a lot of experience. So yeah, I would make it look good. I'd go in and I do my trades. Now, I will tell you one thing. Okay, I won't show you my trades, but I'll tell you right now. Last week where's that? There you go. I did 14 working orders, but only three of them filled, but I made $641. Okay. I don't trade a lot because I got all this extra stuff happening. Do I do other things? Yes. Do I make money in trading? Yes. But for the amount of work that I did, I get there at 8 o'clock. I finish at 8:30 in the evening, and I did this three times. Right? Not because of three trades, but I only did it three times last week. So for about what, an hour and a half, that's how much money I made. But it's taken me to get there, taking me a lot to get to there. Several thousands of trades to get there. Okay. But let me show you some of these other people that are here. These are people that are somewhere in the room. Okay. Well, I did put it out there in the very beginning too. Thanks, Amy. All right. But here's some people that are in the system right now. Okay. This is Michael Ficca. He's in there trading his 1 hours, right? And Michael's in here trading his 1 hours. He's done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of other trades. Look at these. This is some of this other stuff. Starting on December, or actually October 17th, right there. Powerful. Got into 1 hour trades. Got into 1 hour trades reluctantly, of course. I have to mention that, right? It's difficult because he was falling in love with the 5 minute trades, right? Here's Paul Davey. Paul Davey is a senior trader with us, 39.2 on his 1 hour trades. Okay. These are real people. Okay. So these kind of people, when they're doing this kind of work, you think, all right, well, they're senior traders, so they got a lot of experience. Well, yeah, but here's Chi in here. And Chi has been, that's his first batch of 5 in trades. Oh, he just lost one big one. Oops. That's all right. He's up to 4 contracts in there too. So he's in there doing it, right? He's in there working it every day. Look at this. Lots and lots and lots and lots of green. Working very, very hard in there. He doesn't have it calculated up, so I don't know what his success rate is. Edward Bookwater in here training and learning. Okay. He's still within his first practice trade. So he's made mistakes, he's going through. But this is the kind of information that we hold, that people give us to show us that they're in doing their thing. Okay. Here's Brian Morris. Now, before I show you Brian's, I got to show you Ken's. Ken started doing it first because this is beautiful. I love the way his thing is set up here. But he's done this, and I know Ken has showed some other people too, which we love too. Thank you so much. You are awesome. And Ken has worked very hard. He was doing 5 minute trades, got into a second 5 minutes. Then he started doing 1 hours. He was doing flag and pennant stuff with us. He was doing Dex dailies. And if you notice the consistency here, okay, here's his 5 minute trades he's very proud of. 95% success rate. Remember when I said if you get above 90%, you're a superstar? Well, guess what? Ken Wright's a superstar. Okay. $3,730 from the 1st of December. Holy crap. Are you kidding me? From the 1st of December, so 12 days, $3,700, 44-2. Now that, my friends, is a superstar. Other superstars? Brian Morris, 84%. These are his 1 hour trades. 90% on his 5 minutes, it looks like his second batch of 5 minutes. Sweet. Look at that. That is amazing, Brian. Amazing. $290. There's the 12th. So these are from the 9th to the 12th, $290. Again, trading one contract. How does he make $580? Can anybody tell me that? How can you make $580 in that same amount of time? We discussed this. Anybody? Add a contract, right? CBG, baby. That's going to be on a T-shirt. Are you getting it? Are you seeing it? It's real. It's sitting in front of your face. You got people in the room. They're not going to come in and lie for me. These are customers. These are people that, of course, are becoming more than customers to me. Your investors and your friends and your family. So maybe they would lie for me, but let me tell you right now, they're not going to stake their reputation on bullshit. All right? Michael's in there trading live, real money, proving it every day. Geez, at 57 trades and only 2 losses. Well, Guess what, buddy? You rock. You're a superstar as well. Brian Morris is like, I stole Ken's layout. Yeah, that's cool, man. I love it. I love it. Ken's layout is awesome. I'm going to start doing my stuff like Ken. I don't know everything. So sometimes it comes down to where you just gotta, you gotta pile everybody in, right? You gotta get everybody together to come up with the best ideas. Do you realize that this isn't something I just dreamed of, folks? Okay, this isn't something that I plan to be. I'm a radio guy. I'm a marketer. I was sent into this by diversity. And when I got put together with other people, so I started to call other people and try to find who else. Everybody was adding their stuff in. This is all of your project. All this information that we're getting, I wish I had's and wish I shoulda, couldas. That's what this has become. And it's just growing bigger and bigger. So if you haven't bought in yet, if you're here, you haven't bought in yet, your time is to do so now. Because listen, this is what we do. We're not kidding around with this. This is not something that we're just saying for some marketing gimmick. All right. But when we started out at $47 a month. Okay. The system's up to like $147 a month for any one of the systems in there. Now, if you come in and you buy either Dex Indicators or Dex Signals at the full price, we're going to give you a coupon, Dex Save 50. Okay. And you're going to be paying full price your second month. But if you do that, I'm going to give you Dex Trader for free. Right. So you're going to get everything, your desired Dex, or Dex Indicators or Dex Signals, and Dex Trader for free. Okay. So if you're doing Dex Indicators, you get Dex Indicators and Dex Trader for free. If you're doing Dex Signals, you get Dex Signals for free, or Dex Signals and a Dex Trader for free. So the whole package, I mean, yes, we do have some all-inclusive prices, but those will come out later. But we want to be able to, you know, support those that have supported us. Okay. So keep that in mind as we're moving on into our next series. We can't keep the same prices we have because Dex Trader takes a lot to build and compute. Okay. There's a lot of stuff that's on the systems, on the software, on the servers, on the security, on payment of new people coming up because we're expecting thousands of people to come to the system. So get in now. Okay. It's not one of those infomercials. Well, if you act now, I'll throw in two. Well, I kind of sort of did, didn't I? But either way, okay. I didn't do it that kind of style, but Wamco kind of stuff. But listen, if you don't, and I'm not trying to pressure you, you will miss out on the pricing that you're going to get now instead of later. Because when this does happen, okay, if you're having a hard time with funds or putting stuff together, then maybe we got to talk about, is trading the right way for you at the moment. But if you can pull it off, your training is your most valuable. And getting in now, okay, while the numbers are low, while the people are low, because listen, we have a couple hundred people on the network, over thousands of over 1,100 people going in and out of the system every day, either through free or through other systems. So with that, it's still manageable. Okay. And it's going to be manageable with all these other people out there anyway later, but the price is going to be high. So if you haven't gotten yet, my word of warning is to get in now. Start your training, get on board, get it happening. If you have gotten it and you're here tonight for support, my God, thank you so much. That is amazing. All of you are so amazing that are here that support us every single night. But listen, what you have in front of you is an opportunity to make it in a world that very few people can make it because they get distracted, they get moved on, all these bad things happen. And I understand it's tough. You might have been here before and didn't work out for you and left and then saw something new and came back. All I got to tell you right now, if you're watching this and you're a previous customer and you're not with us right now, and it's hitting for all these people and you're missing out, maybe you didn't pay attention to one part of it, or you're missing training, or you weren't sure, or you didn't believe, whatever the reason is, stop. It's time to stop. Stop chasing that next little shiny object. Put that mirror down, put that finger down, and put your head down and start working. Because that's what it's going to take. Michael got there, Ken's getting there, Ken's got there, Cheese got there, Brian Morris, all these other people. Holy crap, there's so many people in here. I didn't even realize how many people are in here. There's a lot of people. Brian Bonner, Dr. Brian Bonner's in there. He's making it work live. He has stuff happening. Um, a lot of people that are in here making it work. And there's also opportunities with the company, senior and elite trading. All right. So you have an awesome opportunity here. You just have to seize it. All right. For all of you watching this after the fact, I want to thank you so much for taking time because let me tell you, it's cool to be there and get here and be in the webinar and stuff and be in a chat room and type your answers and everything and carve that time out. But sometimes while you're doing your other things, you can't be here in that time. Great. But thank you very much because it does take some effort to get to there and push on the archive button, hunt it out, and make it happen and sit here through the whole thing. Hopefully, you didn't fast forward all the way to the end and you got a lot of information from here. Being inside the network, you're going to get a tremendous amount. So hopefully that if you're watching this and maybe it's, part of a sales thing, then great. But I want to see you inside. I do wish you all the best of luck. Trade well. Everybody in the room, hang out because we got some questions and answers, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of great stuff that's going to happen tonight. Take care. Talk to you soon.